That's what I'm saying. Like, though, yeah.
There's just so many variables. For me, there's too many variables that can cause things to go sideways in terms of from everything from conception to pregnancy to post-pregnancy to growing up as a child. Like, so many things happen. Like, fucking wife could trip and fall on her belly and the kid's retarded for life now. You know, like, it's so, or the kid gets knocked out from a bully and now he's retarded for life. You know, like, there's just
it could be
anything. About that correlation between serial killers and brain injuries at early ages. I mean,
I've thought about that too. I've had at least 5 concussions in my life. Skateboarding, all these different things. I'm like,
maybe that's why you're a pessimist, right? Maybe that's why you're a pessimist. Your frontal lobe is fucking sore.
I can think of at least 2 that I've had myself, and one I know I had at a young age, at a very young age. Sometimes I think about that. My memory's not always there. Sometimes I have,
That's because you smoke weed.
You ever get, what do they call those thoughts that just creep in your head that you don't really want to think of?
Oh, they're intrusive thoughts.
Intrusive.
Dude, I get them all day, every day. That's why I want to kill myself.
Bro, it's not just you, dude. I get sometimes
brutal,
it's
man.
Not just you, bro. Sometimes I'll just be sitting there with a baby, and I'm not thinking I want to do this, but the thought of like, what would happen if I just punched this baby in the face as hard as I could? Like, I don't want to. I have zero desire.
Why a baby?
I'm just saying, this is a thought that has crossed through my mind that I have not wanted, right? Like,
yeah, there's definitely something in the brain because it had. And again, people don't understand that it doesn't have to be this a punch from a heavyweight boxing champion to give you brain damage, bro. It could be the simplest good solid shot to the head from anything, and it could have caused brain damage. You don't know unless you went and got checked out. Who's gonna go fuck?
You don't have.
I've had so many concussions. I didn't go get checked out after I slammed my head off your tile fucking floor, Frank. Like, I should have, because I was definitely concussed.
Yes, you should have.
Who gives a shit?
I was just. Have you've never had intrusive thoughts like this, JB? Like crazy thoughts?
Sure, I have, and then they usually are about kids and death, but not punching. Just like, what if she fell down the stairs and fucking broke her neck?
Yeah.
Have you ever been standing on like a tall building and just thought like, I could almost just walk right off right now?
I've thought of that, but that's about it. Like, wow, I could die, and then that's it.
Dark shit, man. Like,
well, not even like, oh my god, if I slipped and fell, I could die. No, like almost like if I didn't have my right mind right now, I could literally
just one extra step.
I'm like this much away from.
I don't really go that far.
That's all it is, right? It's that one little thought that just goes, I'm not going to do that, though. You know how many times I've thought of having a sniper rifle in my room to take out these landscapers that fucking keep me up? It's just, and I just sit here, bro, I'll literally stop and just look out the window and I'll just picture like, like just Grand Theft Auto, and I'll just
that I've done, bro. I watch way too many crime TV shows, and I've thought of me committing the perfect
get away with this. Yes.
Crime, whatever that may be.
So I wonder what that is. What is that voice that allows you to not do that?
That's the angel, right? That's the angel and the devil, right?
I hate your conscience.
I mean, we've all definitely been angry enough at one point in our lives where you could have killed someone.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people, all right, some scientists will tell you there's a part of the brain that controls that. I want to say hippocampus, but I'm probably pulling that out of my ass. But there's a part of the brain that is supposed to control, supposed to have control over your sense of control, right?
Empathy.
Impulse control, right? And empathy. Some scientists will tell you if that's damaged, that might be the difference between you shooting up a school and just going home and crying in your pillow. Right. But you talk about these guys who like the Vegas shooter, right? Or other people have done some really horrific things. Like, what was it, right? It wasn't nothing like that was that obvious, right? The guy wasn't bankrupt. It wasn't like all these things pointing to I'm just gonna break down and flip out. No, it was just like I think there's a lot more people that are going through, like, just, you said it, C-Money, I said it. There's been plenty of times where I've just wanted to shoot up a fucking Walmart, you know what I mean? Or go to a police station after a cop fucked me over and go shoot.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, you, me, and the rest of the population who have these intrusive thoughts, 9 times out of 10 say, whatever. I wish I could, but never.
Yeah, like we know it's a lose-lose situation. If I kill a cop, I'm fucked. Like I don't have the resources to go John Wick for a day or two and take out as many as I can and go out in a blaze of glory. No, I'm done.
I mean, to give some credence to this numbers, this brain thing, like there's 300 million people in America, and it's not 10 million people having these types of actions, right? What I'm saying is that we all have these intrusive thoughts, but we don't act on them, except the people who are
you're breaking up. You're broke up, but I heard you. Like who are deficient at some point, one way or the other. Absolutely. But that being said, that just goes to show you how lucky or maybe just how random these things are, right?
I mean,
when somebody shoots up, and I'll say this last thing, I don't want to monopolize the conversation. I just mean when somebody shoots up a school or a concert or something, what happens? People start investigating their background. People start looking for reasons why, right? Mm-hmm. But if you really think about it, I mean, all of us, we've talked about it before. It just happens to be luck.
Bad day.
Where you're at on that day when some shit happens. And of course, you said 300 million in America. There's going to be a percentage of the population that do act on that crazy thought. And whether you're there or not.
0.5% of if even 0.5% of the population was psychotic, murderous people, that's 1.5 million people.
So less than a percent of people, and I would say it's probably higher than that have some kind of
nowadays.
It's an accumulation thing, is what I'm starting to realize, because I'm starting to try to have more presence of mind when I have like these temper tantrum things, these rage fits, and it's always when something happens that triggers the root of not insecurities, but the root of your problems. Like me, it's my situation. It's living at home. It's being in this place in my life where other people that are around my age are not in this place. And you say, oh, this is why I fucking hate this and this thing and this thing. And you just start building all the things that make you miserable. And eventually you literally work yourself into a state of rage. It's very interesting. Like I said, thank God I have marijuana and I have things like I'll tell you, man, the Jocko podcast, shout out to Jocko Willink. That dude is the creme de la creme when it comes to mental strength. I mean, the dude was a Navy SEAL commando in the most dangerous battle in the Iraqi war. Doesn't get more mental toughness than that.
I had that daydream, by the way. I had that daydream of being like the most baddest military fucking commando.
I can't imagine,
assassinating. Fuck
yeah. Imagine that. Like I can't. Like dope. It doesn't really get much higher than like badassery than that dude. I don't.
Yeah, no, those to me are the real heroes.
Yeah.
Like that should be the guy you get your autograph from.
Right.
Not Anthony Davis.
No, it's fucking Captain America they want. Yeah.
My bad, JB. What were you saying? You were breaking up. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Shitty ass internet. Everybody's on, I guess. I was just gonna say, to see Money's point about him just being in a bad situation, having bad feelings, and then just outwardly just have everything bad. Whether you believe in the law of attraction or not, what you think of is what you see. It maybe not necessarily you attract it, but like that's what you're paying attention to. So you're not focused on the good things. You're focused on the bad things. So therefore you notice those things more. Those are more conscious thoughts than oh, okay, that's a good thing, and then you just forget about it. So,
being present of mind is the hardest thing.
So hard, bro. Every day I tell myself, today I'm gonna really work on just being in the moment, bro. It is so hard.
Set reminders for yourself. Set reminders in your phone.
Yeah.
Literally just small things like that. An alarm that goes off like twice a day that just says, take a second, stop and smell the roses. You know what I mean? And whether you believe in the fucking secret or mindfulness or laws of attraction or Buddhism, because you find it in many different fucking different transcripts, many different beliefs. No matter what, a lot of times, no matter how you slice it, it's what you think of affects your life. I read somewhere years ago in like a Buddhist fucking teaching book about how the more you think of the things that you want that you don't have, the more distance you put between yourself and those things. And I read something about saying like, like to just be it's hard to be grateful of shit that you don't already fucking have, that you don't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but more so to try to,
weird.
more so to try to just kind of picture yourself where you want to be, as opposed to you see a nice car and you say, "Fuck me, I this lucky son of a bitch. I wish I had." It. You know what I mean?
So I don't know if I've talked to you about feelings and stuff like that to you guys, but there you go. It's about the feeling of it. Like, can you imagine how it would feel to own that car? Like,
No.
Yeah. So then that's tough, right?
Yeah.
That's hard to do. You're stuck on the negative feeling of not owning that car, and therefore, just like you said, putting that distance away from that goal. So maybe just try to imagine.
That's a big thing. Bro. Imagination is a big thing, bro. Training kung fu with Sifu for years. He's always, for years, that nigga's always said, you have to use your imagination. You have to train like a master. You have to, when you're training, you have to pretend in your brain you're a master. When you're training, you have to think, like, imagine like you're fighting and see yourself where you want to be. The imagination is important. We talked about, the law of attraction. Yeah. The show, I've tried. It's hard. We talked about it a few weeks ago. I remember I told you guys, can you imagine yourself, like, literally see your face in a studio? And it's one thing to say, I want to be in a studio in New York City doing like Sirius XM. But can you close your eyes and see your face in a studio in New York and doing your thing? That's a lot harder to do, like, to visualize.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
I can close my eyes and picture.
It's hard for me, bro. It's hard.
Really? Oh, I can sit here and just like
really focus.
Oh man,
see myself. I can see everything around, but to see my face.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Out and see myself, it's hard for me. It's weird.
I guess I never really thought about it. I usually think about things as the
first person,
audience,
right? Yeah.
Right? Huh.
That's
interesting.